Hello there, welcome to another Swinging Steve's Bargain Beer review. Actually a review this time. I'm going to review my Christmas box set at some point, and we're going to put that up first, being near to Christmas, but yeah, I think people want to watch my channel to watch reviews rather than me reviewing a box set of beers that I've drunk, but that might be interesting for some people. Anyway, nevertheless, let's get cracking on with this beer this week. Now it's a porter this week, and it is a Brewdog beer this week, and it's Zombie Cake. Now this came in at £1.50. I bought this before Christmas, so it was before their price range has changed a little bit at Tesco's. But it came in at £1.50 a bottle, as £4 for £6 in the £4 for £6 bottle range. And it describes itself as a Praline chocolate porter. So there we go. I don't usually read the descriptions on the back, but that's pretty much. I mean, if it's a Praline chocolate porter, then you're pretty much getting everything on there, aren't you? 5%, which is your standard percentage really for a porter. Relatively sessionable, usually a bit thinner than a stout. So let's see what it's all about. Rhymes that, doesn't it? That was completely vibed, by the way. So that's a bottle cap, that's a crown. So they have different colours. They're a bit disappointing actually. They've limited their colours, I think, on the caps. They all seem to be like that dark colour these days, like grey colour, right? Washed out grey colour. They all used to be different colours. Maybe they are. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I picked up loads with grey tops or something. Maybe it's because I've been drinking lots of dark beers or something like that, I don't know. So yeah, this is Zombie Cake. I don't know, all these I picked up quite a while ago, this now. Anyway, let's crack her open. I'm not a Brewdog hater, by the way. I've had hit and miss beers from them though, I'm going to be completely honest. It's nice, it's got that very sort of standard porter aroma to it. Yeah, I'm not a hater, but there has been some dodgy beers from them, I'm not going to lie. But there's been a lot of good ones, and I'm a really big fan of their layer cake, which is a £3 craft can. That's a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine, actually. It's their vanilla layer cake stout or something, whatever it is. That's really nice. I know that's had mixed reviews as well. I think it's bob on that. So anyway, without much further ado, let's see what she looks like. Initially on the aroma, getting nice little roasted chocolatey notes for sure. So as you would imagine, porters are a very dark brown. Dark chestnuts, almost like a mild in colour. This has almost got like a red tinge to it, actually, which is interesting. So we've got about a finger's worth of tan coloured head. Yeah, so I'm getting very light milk chocolate notes. Maybe dark chocolate. A nice roastedness coming through. Getting a nice maltiness, like a bready maltiness coming through on that. It's got a very traditional British sort of, almost like an earthiness to it. The chocolate's coming through a little bit more now. Maybe now the head's dissipating slightly. Can't say I'm getting praline as such. Maybe getting some sort of like hazelnutty sort of vibe on it. Anyway, cheers. Nice. It's got a nice mouthfeel. Very smooth. Quite silky. It's definitely got oats in this. It's definitely got some nice body to it. It's got a very nice smoothness. You thought, oh, there's maybe some lactose in this, I'm not sure. Yeah, the praline definitely comes through more on the flavour. It's not in your face, but I quite like that. It's not sickly, this beer. I don't think this is a sickly beer. Now, some of these new Tesco's beers are quite sickly, and that's fine because they're treat beers, and that's what you expect. You pay your money for something that's really rich and really sickly. Especially like the tiramisu stout from, what they call them, London Beer Factory. That's incredibly sickly. This is spot on. I think this is very, very pleasant, very nice. Give it a little bit more of a swish. Okay, that dissipates a little bit, but for a 5% beer, I don't think that's thin. I don't think that's that thin. I think that's alright. I think that's quite nice. It's got a little bit of an earthy bitterness on the back end. It's actually quite well balanced. It's got a little bit of a smokiness to it, but it's not overpowering. It's got quite a traditional, I would say this is a very traditional British stout. The malts are very. It's all about the malts, this beer. So you're getting a lovely. They must have used chocolate malts. The chocolate malts is the key player in this beer. And it's very light. It's got a nice little sweetness that tingles on the end of your tongue. That stays. The end of the beer actually is all about the tongue and this little chocolatey this chocolatey sort of malt. However, for me, it's a little bit disappointing on right at the back. That I were expecting the Praline nut maybe to come through a little bit more, and it kind of doesn't. It just finishes. Kind of leaves you wanting a bit more. It's almost got like a mild vibe going on this one for me. Reminds me a bit of a mild. So where would I go with this one? I'd buy this again. I'd buy this again. It's nice. It's nice. Yeah, it reminds me of a mild. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like there's some lovely milds where you get this lovely sweet maltiness. It's almost like icing sugar on the end of your tongue. Yeah, that's how I would probably describe it. It's a lovely beer. It's a lovely beer, and I would get this again for £1.50. £1.50. It's a very good beer. It's a very good beer. It gets right at the top. 7.9 out of 10 for me. That 7.9 out of 10, I think. I've maybe been a bit early there with my review, but yeah, the more I drink it, I would say the more I'm almost a bit left wanting a bit more for it to get into the excellent box. But I think it's on the money. £1.50. And like I say, I would get this again, and I think there's enough flavour going off in this for discussion. If you were a friend and you were discussing this beer, there'd be enough there to talk about. The Praline doesn't come through that much for me. There's a bit like that nutty, that almost like hazelnut nuttiness to it, but yeah, it's a lovely beer. It's a lovely beer. I'm giving it 7.9 out of 10. A very good beer. Let's see what it says. Dark forces are at work in this devilishly good Praline porter. Toffee and chocolate united to come knocking open. Sorry, I can't read it properly because the lettering goes behind the artwork a bit. Open up to layers of smooth roasty character with notes of vanilla, mellow coffee and subtle nuttiness. And a bittersweet cliffhanger finale. Zombie cake, grab a slice. Yeah, that's what I'm getting on this. Caramel, like a sweet caramel. A little bit of toffee, I suppose, but more for caramel for me. Yeah, and what else did it describe there? Vanilla. Yeah, I get a bit. There's vanilla in there, and the coffee notes. I think I mentioned the coffee notes. Yeah, I'd agree. There's a bit of vanilla. So zombie cake. Cheers, everybody. Hope you're having a good new year. You're gonna get a 7.9 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of Brewdog. What you think of their beers. Let me know what you think of. They're all branded, isn't it? I don't know how this bottle is. It's still in date. Because I checked earlier, 15th of the 04/21, so we've still got a few months on it. But it doesn't matter much with the darker beers anyway. It's your hoppy IPAs where you need to watch the sell by date a bit more to keep the freshness of the hops. But a good beer, a very like I said, a very good beer. I've said that a few times now. I'm going to keep repeating myself. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like my content, and leave your comments below. And I do try and get back to everybody's comments. I really appreciate the subscriptions. I think I'm up to 600 now. Bumming it, can't believe it. Oh my god. So yeah, thank you very much for subscribing. Really love the support from all the viewers that watch my channel. And I'll see you on the next review. Bye bye.